Hey guys, welcome back to another Technology Guru video. So today's video is going to be a recent podcast episode that I released talking all about the YouTube Adpocalypse, as well as the new YouTube channel site design. If you haven't noticed, they're rolling out the new design for, I guess you would say, the video watch page as well as your YouTube channel as a whole. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want to learn more about YouTube and how to better your YouTube channel, you can go on over to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or Google Play and download and subscribe to our podcast, YouTube Creators Hub. It releases every single Wednesday. So sit back, grab a drink, and enjoy.
Welcome to the YouTube Creators Hub podcast, where we help you conquer the internet one video at a time. We cover everything from how to start a YouTube channel to how to make a video go viral. And now, here's your host, the one and only Dusty Porter.
Hello and welcome back to episode 64 of the YouTube Creators Hub podcast. My name is Dusty Porter, the host of this wonderful show, where each and every Wednesday I bring you a podcast episode in hopes to bring you value to help you grow, monetize, and improve your online YouTube channel, videos, online video content as a whole. Do want to let you guys know every week this show is brought to you by the fine folks over at TUBEBUDDY, TUBEBUDDY. If you're looking for a tool to take your YouTube channel to the next level, go ahead, click that link in the show notes. Give it a try. Test out TubeBuddy. Let me know what you think. It's a free browser plugin. You can update to the paid version if you think it's worth it, and I promise you, you will. I've been seeing a lot of people come in with emails and sign up notifications through my email box this week, and I really think you guys are going to love the new features that TubeBuddy are going to release. Also, would like to give a big shout out to Mr. Thain, Thain. He left us a review on iTunes, the US store. He says, "I'm a teacher who is a daily vlogger and just surpassed 1,000 subs. Your interviews and tips have been so very helpful. Been binging them all weekend while doing chores." Well, sir, thank you so much for those kind words. I really and truly appreciate the kind words. And if you'd like a shout out on next week's episode, go on over to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, wherever you consume your podcasting content. Leave us a review. Let us know what you think of the show, whether it be positive or negative. We're always looking to improve the content over here at the YouTube Creators Hub podcast. Also, a big, I guess you would say, public service announcement, PSA. I want to shout out to all the creators who would like to come on this podcast. I'm always looking for unique creators that have just amazing stories, right? It's about bringing value to YouTube content creators. That's what we do here on the show. But one of the greatest things I get to do every week is interview wonderful creators and talk with them about their journey on YouTube. And it's just such a fun thing because everybody has such a different story. And people ask me all the time, well, do I have to have 1 million subscribers to come on your show? No, the numbers and you just need to be on YouTube for a decent amount of time. But those sub numbers, those view numbers, they really don't tell the story. You can have a great YouTube channel that's bringing valuable content and that's growing immensely without having those big astronomical numbers. So don't worry about that. If you'd like to come on the show, you can email me, dusty@youtubecreatorshub.com. You can also go over to the website, youtubecreatorshub.com. On the right-hand side of the website, you're going to see a little link that says submit a question for the show. It's going to have a little microphone icon on it. You can record a question for our show. I will play it on next week's episode and hopefully give you the most versed answer I possibly can after some in-depth research. So with all of that out of the way, I want to give you guys a little update on what we're going to be doing this week. So every once in a while, I like to do a mono episode where it's just me talking about a specific YouTube topic or event. Today in this week's episode, we're going to cover 2 big topics. The first one's going to be the YouTube Adpocalypse and what people think is the demise of smaller YouTubers because of the requirement of the 10,000 views that YouTube is saying you must have now in order to apply for partner status, which allows you to monetize and run ads on top of your videos. So we're going to be discussing that, what people are calling the YouTube Adpocalypse. I'm going to get everybody off the bridge, okay? And the second thing we're going to be talking about is the new YouTube layout that YouTube and Google are rolling out and what I think about it and what it means for you as creators and how you can maximize the layout to help your channel. So let's go ahead and dive into this week's conversation. All right, as I mentioned there in the opening, the first thing that I want to be discussing and talking about today is indeed the YouTube adpocalypse. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning of this story. So if you don't know, you kind of understand where YouTube and where I'm coming from as a creator. So a few months back, there were a situation where there were a couple videos that were not of good taste. They were terroristic type videos, and there were videos that just were awful content, right? And there were some advertisements of some very big name advertisers that were run on top of these videos that were just awful, gaudy videos that were just horrible. And so what YouTube then did was it then came out with a statement and it said, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a better job of vetting the content and understanding this, but it was too late at that point because at this time, big advertisers such as Coke and Pepsi, AT&T, Verizon, all of these really big spenders on the YouTube platform as far as advertising goes begin to pull out. So they begin to take their ads off of the YouTube platform. Then what happened a few days later is this began to affect creators because what happens is you guys already know the amount of content that's being uploaded to YouTube each and every day, every single hour is at an astronomical rate. And all of these people before the new change were able to advertise, apply for the partner program and run ads on their videos, regardless of how small or how large their channel was. And I will tell you my viewpoint on that in just a minute. But so what happened is there weren't as many ads to go around. So then all of the creators, large, small, medium-sized, begin to see that in their ad revenue. So they would go to their analytics sometime beginning of April, late March, and they would see where they may be making, say, $200 a day. That went down to $100 a day. Now, this wasn't all creators. I'm going to be honest with you. For me, I'm not going to divulge what I make on YouTube. It's definitely not a very large number, but my ad revenue really didn't change that much. I think it just depends on the type of content that you create. Again, if you're a vlogger or if you're a creator who does content such as that, and you do opinionated news pieces, things like that, people like Philip DeFranco, bigger YouTubers like that, were hit a little harder because a lot of their content, if at all, YouTube thought it was controversial, they would just remove it, right? They would remove advertising, pull ads from that video. Again, I don't think that's probably the best way to go about doing it, but that's what YouTube decided to do. So what's happening now is that these creators are seeing their ad revenue go down. A lot of these creators, unfortunately, like I tell you guys not to do, they've put all of their eggs in the YouTube basket, in one basket, right? As an entrepreneur, as a business person, you never can put all of your eggs into one basket. And these creators had done that. They hadn't branched out and started creating an email list or using affiliate links or monetizing through sponsored videos. They've basically been counting on this AdSense revenue to support them and sometimes their family for the long foreseeable future. That was a mistake because what's happening now is your ad revenue is dropping, and what are you going to do to compensate for that? So then all of this is going on. Then all of the creators are coming up and they're saying, oh my gosh, my ad revenue is going down. YouTube is dead. There's no way you can make a living on YouTube anymore. So that is the story of the adpocalypse. Now, I'm here to tell you as a creator, as someone who is deep into the YouTube ecosystem. I talk to a YouTube person here recently on a weekly basis. The AdSense program is not going away. They've changed it. You have to get 10,000 views in order to apply. Some people are up in arms about that. Well, let me give you guys a little pro tip here on the YouTube Creators Hub podcast. 10,000 views is not that much. You'll be fine. You'll be able to get that. Create a video, make a really fun title, really colorful, interesting thumbnail, make it very relevant to something going on. And literally, guys, in a few weeks, if you keep doing that, I promise you, you will have 10,000 views, okay? But make it relevant and keep it targeted to your target audience, to your avatar. Don't make it something crazy that's not related to your channel, okay? So with all of that being said, I actually believe, and you may throw stones at me, I actually believe that the 10,000 view threshold that YouTube is now requiring people to get to is actually a good thing, okay? Now, think of it as a creator standpoint, someone who does this for a living. Like myself, I am a content creator. That's what I do for a living. I'm a content creator / voice actor / videographer, whatever. I do a lot of different things. I have to because I can't put all my eggs into one basket, okay? So I believe truly the 10,000 threshold is a great thing. Okay, because here's what it's going to do. It's going to have people that are starting YouTube just to make money, which their content's going to suck anyways, they're going to fall out, right? Unless they have some viral video that goes crazy and then they reach the threshold. And then at that point, you're not going to watch their content anyways because it's not going to be interesting. But it's going to eliminate all of those people who the only reason why they are signing up for YouTube and to get a YouTube channel in general is just to make money, to put stupid videos that people have already recorded and use copyrighted stuff and try to make money and try to scheme the system. It's going to eliminate those people. For the most part, there's still going to be those types of folks out there, but for the most part, it's going to eliminate those types of really facetious and really, I call them grimy creators, right? I have a daughter and we watch a lot of Mickey Mouse and a lot of cartoons on YouTube, and you'd be so amazed at the amount of people just uploading Disney's content and running ads on top of it and getting millions of views. It's unbelievable. Hopefully, it's going to eliminate those types of people. I really believe it will. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, Dusty, I've been on YouTube for a year. I only have, 2,000 views. It took me this long to get that amount of views. What am I going to do? You're going to keep putting in that work, right? You can't expect to do something in life. And that's the thing, the millennial generation, my age and younger, I am 30 years old, people younger than me and coming up now and even a little older than me, they really expect to get things handed to them. Being that, YouTube should just allow me to make money on these videos. No, YouTube doesn't have to do that, guys. That's what blows my mind is that people think that it's a requirement that YouTube has to allow me to make money on my content. No, yeah, you're working and doing that, but YouTube's hosting all this for you. They're cataloging it all for you. They're putting it in at one of the biggest 2 search engines in the entire universe for you. They're doing all of this amazing stuff to publicize what you're doing. Guys, we live in an amazing world, but we can't expect things to be handed to us. So put in the work, upload videos more frequently. I just talked to a YouTube guy, and I mentioned this in last week's episode. He's saying that YouTube is favoring the more frequent uploads now. So people who are uploading daily, not uploading a bunch of trash 3 or 4 times a day, but the people who are uploading daily. And going forward on my YouTube channel, I'm going to try to upload at a more frequent and more consistent pace because I believe going forward, that's going to help me. So if you're uploading 1 video a month or 1 video every 2 weeks, you may want to increase that because I believe getting yourself out there more, doing what Roberto Blake said in our interview on this here show. He said, use all of your videos as a calling card, as a business card for what you're doing. Think of it that way, guys. So in wrapping all of this up into a nice and tied up into a nice, pretty little bow, the YouTube adpocalypse, as people are calling it, is not near as bad as what people are saying. Yes, YouTube needs to do a better job, and they need to do it quickly, of vetting content that ads do not get placed on top of videos that are just horrible videos, right? Videos that are terroristic, videos that are just racist, and videos that are just horrible. People creating these videos and then running ads because it's not only hurting their platform, it's hurting their advertisers as well. So I think YouTube is going to make a change. They are going to continue to find ways to better vet and better look into the videos before they are, approved to have ads run on them. So, guys, calm down. It's going to be okay. The adpocalypse is nothing but another thing for you as the creator to pivot. I've done over 60 interviews on this podcast. One of the most relevant things people tell me in every interview is this. Well, it's consistency and this. Consistency and making sure that you as a creator are able to pivot, that you are able to rotate and change as things change. Now, I'm using this as a segue into topic number 2 for today's show, which is the new YouTube layout. People ask all the time, why does YouTube always change things? Well, they have to, guys. They got to continue innovating and they got to try things, and I want them to. As a creator who uploads stuff on their platform, I want YouTube to continually change. I want them to continually evolve. I want them to move forward with the new technology, with all of this stuff, because me as a creator, I want to be on the cutting edge of everything going on in the tech industry, in the online video space, and I want YouTube to be at the top of that, okay? So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and look into the new layout, okay? So number 1, it came out back in February. It started kind of surfacing around early this year, early 2017. You could kind of opt into it if they sent you an invite. But now what's happening is that it's rolling out nationwide, countrywide, across different countries around the world. And it's different, okay? It's different. The view page is different. The comment section is over on the right-hand side, which is a little odd, a little off. It does take a little while to get used to. But what I like like about this, and what I think YouTube is trying to do, is they're making, and they've continued to do this with every update they do with their UI, their user interface, is that they're making the content, they're making the video the forefront. So the video is bigger in the native player, and it's right there center screen. And this is talking about desktop version. The mobile version is also getting some tweaks to it as well to kind of be in line with the desktop version. But I'm talking primarily about the desktop version as well as the mobile version because they're kind of one and the same now. But when you go now to the desktop version of YouTube, you're going to see the video content front and foremost. There's going to be a bigger subscribe button. It's a lot bigger than the previous subscribe button, which I love. I think, oh, any way that you can say, hey, subscribe, it's free, just click here, boom, boom, boom. You know, and they've really got to do a better job of fixing the notifications. And obviously, if you don't know this, guys, make sure when you're doing your videos, at the end of your videos, you're saying to your audience, hey, guys, don't forget, people are calling it the notification squad. If you've heard that saying or slogan, whatever you want to call it, basically they click the little bell there, and that will allow them to get notified every time that you release a video. And that's important, right? That's why I always say at the top of this podcast, don't forget to go over to iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play and hit the subscribe button, because what happens is when I release a new episode of this show, they get notified and they download it and they can listen to it. It's much easier than them having to go and navigate to my channel every time they want to watch one of my videos or listen to one of my podcasts. So it's important. So all in all, I'm not going to talk much about the YouTube layout as of right now. I want to use it a little more, play with it a little more, and see the different numbers as far as once it's released for everyone, kind of the different analytics from the old version to the new version. I'm a numbers geek and nerd. I love to look into that. If you're not diving into your analytics as a YouTuber, you're doing something wrong. So with the new layout, I just really think that YouTube is trying to make content the creator the centerfold of what the page is. And I like that. And it allows you to go over to the right and to look at those comments, which does take a little while to learn. And again, the sub button is a little bigger, and your YouTube channel page is laid out a little differently. There's not as much white space or dead space on the actual screen. It's making use of that space a little more diligently, I think. So again, take a look at it. If you haven't already opted in for the new version, there are you can just basically Google YouTube new layout, and then basically within a couple of clicks, you should be navigated to where you can be logged into your Google account, YouTube account, and you should be able to adapt to the U thing. So in closing, we've got the YouTube Adpocalypse, we've got the YouTube layout going on. I guess this is just another reminder for us as creators to remember one thing. We have to be willing to evolve. We have to be willing to change, and we cannot be set in our own ways. And most definitely, we cannot put all of our eggs into one basket, because what happens one day when 10 years from now, advertising is not the main way to monetize anymore online, and I don't think that's going to happen. But let's say it does, and there's other ways that YouTube is asking you to monetize. They've already pulled the fan funding because of sites such as Patreon, and you may need to look into things like that, guys. So I do want to say one last thing. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. You've made this podcast so much fun to do. We are really getting close to that 1 million download mark, which as a podcaster, that is huge. I was reading an article the other day. We are in the top 8% of podcasts in the world, because we are getting around anywhere from, I'd say, 2,000 to 5,000 downloads a day. On a big day, even higher than that, which is huge, astronomical in podcasting, which is telling me one thing. You guys love the interviews, which, don't worry, it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going hot and heavy through the summer, through the end of the year, for the foreseeable future, for as long as you guys want that. Remember, though, if you want to be on the show or know someone you'd like to get on the show, please email me, dusty@youtubecreatorshub.com. And guys, until next time, keep creating content, keep your head up, and keep pressing that record button. Talk to you guys next week.
You've been listening to the YouTube Creators Podcast. We want to thank you and invite you to subscribe to the show, as well as support us on Patreon for great perks, such as having your YouTube channel featured on the show and a link on our website. Until next time, keep uploading those videos.